Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Morning, Morgan.
Good morning, DJ NV, Charlamagne the God, and Jess Hilarious. How y'all feeling?
Peace, Morgan.
Good.
Yeah, happy Friday Eve. All right, let's get into it. So, like you said, NV, President Trump, he held his first cabinet meeting of his second term yesterday, and he discussed a variety of topics, including securing the border, energy production, DOGE, tariffs, Social Security, Medicaid, inflation, and the Ukraine-Russian war. Now, Trump said his administration is working towards an end to the Russia-Ukraine war, and also mentioned tariffs against China will soon take effect. Now, the president also promised any cuts to the federal government will not impact Social Security of Medicaid. So he also praised efforts of Elon Musk, who was in attendance of the meeting, as you mentioned, to cut government fraud and waste. And let's hear more from Trump's cabinet meeting on border and energy.
In just over 1 month, illegal border crossings have plummeted by numbers that nobody's actually ever seen before. It's much more than 100%. And we've unleashed American energy at levels that will soon be reported, but we think we're going to get it going very quickly. We have incredible people on the energy front.
Yeah, so again, Trump reiterated that the government waste will not only government waste will be on the chopping block. And again, those cuts will not impact Social Security and Medicaid. Now, he believes that dead people are currently getting Social Security checks, and his administration is tracing those checks down. Now, this meeting, of course, comes as the GOP House-led has passed a budget resolution narrowly with a 217 to 215 vote. Now, that measure is now being debated in the Senate. Now, also during that cabinet meeting, he pushed to end the Russia-Ukraine war. He touted the agreement that allows American access to Ukraine's minerals and resources, and he called it rare earth. He said the U.S. is getting back more money from getting back all the money it gave to Ukraine through the war. And he went on to say that the president is also engaging with China to ensure a fair trade agreement. Now, speaking on China and other things, the tariffs, those 25% tariffs are going to move forward on imports from Mexico and China. And the new date for that to go in effect is April 2nd. He said not April 1st because he's superstitious. He also said the European Union will be hit with 25% tariffs and claimed that 27-country bloc was formed to, quote, screw the United States. Now, Musk, he made his presence known at the meeting. He claims the email to federal workers was misinterpreted, saying he wants to keep everybody who's doing an essential job and doing it well. He says that if you're not doing an essential job or you're not doing it well, then you should not be on the public payroll. I think that's fair. Musk also says his efforts to cut the government waste through DOGE. He further spoke about his efforts to cut government waste through DOGE. Let's hear those comments from Musk at the cabinet meeting.
Helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are actually tech support. It's ironic, but it's true. The overall goal here with the DOGE team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits.
Listen, man, I keep saying it over and over. I have no problem with them wanting to cut government fraud and waste. Just do it above the law. Do it in a constitutional way. Do it by working with federal workers in Congress. And I wish it was being done by, someone who was not only appointed by the president, but sworn in by the Senate. Like, we do not learn anything from history, and I don't understand that. Bill Clinton has showed us the way with the National Partnership for Reinventing Government. He's shown us that there's a way to do this in a constitutional way that actually works.
But I always thought there was protocol, right? I thought the reason that you have managers and general managers and executives is because those are the layers that you go to make sure people are actually doing their jobs, right? That's what I would think.
Yeah, there are protocols, but are we not realizing that Trump is going to do the things that he wants to do
whatever he want to do?
That means he doesn't trust his managers, he doesn't trust his executives, he doesn't trust the people on, that he put in position to do that.
He trusts his people. He don't trust the people before in the previous administration.
It's funny you say that though, Morgan, because he controls all branches of government, so he could do this the right way if he wanted to. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. So Trump, of course, he invited Musk to that meeting, and he praised Musk's efforts to identify government waste. Did you guys see that video where he basically said anybody who has a problem with Musk in the room could be thrown out, and then everybody seats to like clap and applaud, and then Musk sits there and pretty much bows. Have you also heard about this billionaire thing where they're like the billionaire mindset where you can walk into a room and just wear a t-shirt and a hat? Everybody else in that room had on suits and ties. No hats, decorum. There was a level of decorum, traditional decorum, and then Musk comes in there with his t-shirt and his blazer. I don't know. I could be reading into more than what is necessary, but, I'm not going to get too much into that. At 7 a.m., we'll talk about Trump Gaza, and there seems to be more close calls in the airline aviation world, so we'll talk about that as well. Yeah.
Did you just fly, Jess? You just flew, right?
Yeah, I just flew from Tampa.
How was it?
It was all right. It was cool, but when we landed, everybody was clapping. They said,
clapping
ain't it
again.
crazy? Like, yeah, we made it. I thanked the pilot, though. I was like, thank you. When I was deep boarding the plane.
We reach.
Yeah, pretty much. Felt like an immigrant.
All right.
I was like, thank you. We made it safe. We made it back safe. So
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Morgan?
What's up? Did y'all see that AI video that Trump put out about? Well, maybe he didn't put it out, but there was an AI video released yesterday about Trump Gaza, the strip.
I did see that.
He put it on his page. He reposted it.
Oh, okay. So President Trump, he did. He shared an AI-generated video that shows him sunbathing in a newly renovated Gaza Strip. The video posted on Truth Social shows the president lounging with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at a resort called Trump Gaza, while a rap song calls it a golden future. Let's hear a quick snippet from that song from the Trump Gaza video.
Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life.
Yeah, Trump Gaza #1. In case you missed it, the video also shows Elon Musk eating hummus and tossing money into the air, and a giant golden statue of Trump in the public square. Now, the White House has not commented on the video. Trump said earlier this month that he would like to see, or he would like to relocate the Palestinians in Gaza living in that war-torn country to possibly Jordan, but he could, so that he could turn it into a resort and so that the U.S. could own it. Any ideas or thoughts on that?
Where are the Arab Americans in Dearborn Arab Americans in Dearborn who voted for Trump? Like, where are the pro-Palestinian people who used to, go out and, interrupt Vice President Kamala Harris when she was on the campaign trail? Yes. I feel like they've gotten so quiet.
It's not just Detroit, like you said, around the country.
I feel like they've gotten so quiet. And Donald Trump is out here talking about, ethnic cleansing, and he's letting we putting resorts on the beach in Gaza. Like, where they at?
crazy.
Yeah, I can't speak for the Muslim population who you're speaking about, but hey, they should definitely tap in. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will go on to say that, right now that is not viable. The White House and Trump has also said that this is, of course, a war-torn country. So this is, he said, think of it as a real estate project. It's not something that's going to happen right away. There's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up in that area. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the cleaning they talking about doing is ethnic cleansing, getting all of the Palestinians out there and moving them to other places so they can start building, turn it into Mara Gaza.
Mara Gaza. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, guys, let's switch gears. The FAA says an American Airlines pilot called off a landing at Reagan National Airport. That's the same airport where that tragic incident happened with the Black Hawk helicopter. Now, after spotting another plane on the runway, this pilot decided to pull up and try again. The plane was coming in to land around 8:20 a.m. local time when the pilot saw another plane preparing to take off. And so the pilot decided to make a go-around landing attempt. Now, the FAA says the decision was made to ensure proper separation between the landing aircraft and the departing flight. Now, this comes at the same time the NTSB and FAA are investigating a Southwest Airlines plane, a separate incident that nearly crashed into a private jet at Chicago's Midway Airport. Video posted to social media shows the Southwest jet close to touching down before pulling up as a smaller jet taxis across its path. Now, the Southwest flight returned to air before later landing safely. Now, that pilot on Southwest Airlines flight 2504 confirmed to go around in order to avoid a collision. Todd Engel was also on board. Let's take a listen to air traffic control and the pilot, and then we'll also hear comments from passenger Todd Engel in that incident.
04 going around.
2504, roger that, maintain 3000.
Southwest 2504 up to 3000.
I always say a prayer before I travel all the time anyway, which is good. And then, of course, said another little prayer after the accelerated, because I knew there was something not right. Everyone just kind of looked around and just, okay, this ain't normal, but nobody panicked. Nobody panicked at all.
Crazy thing about that is I was talking to Lauren LaRosa about this yesterday. She used to be a flight attendant, and she said this happens a lot more frequently than people think.
That's what I want to know.
She said it happens a lot. She said now people are just, I guess, filming it, but she said it happens a lot more than you think. She's like, you start landing, and then something gets in your way, a taxi, another plane, or whatever it may be, and they have to pull up. And I've been in a couple of flights that's happened, but I've never thought about why. I always thought it was the wind. I thought it was the weather, but it could have been those reasons.
That's what I want. I would love to talk to somebody from the FAA just to see how much things like this used to happen before we paid attention to them, or before the media used to show it to us all the time.
Right.
What I will say, well, I ask you is, are your concerns heightened at this point?
Hell yeah.
I mean, they've been heightened ever since the first Reagan.
Reagan.
Reagan. Yeah, ever since the first Reagan flight landed real bad like that, and all the people died. But I mean, you just gotta know you protected. I mean, if it's gonna be your time, it is definitely gonna be your time. You know what I mean? We can't just stop flying. Nobody can just stop flying. You know.
That's right.
All right. Speaking of protection, let's bring things home to you guys in New York. New York City Mayor Eric Adams. So he is facing federal corruption charges and is now facing backlash for comparing himself to Jesus. At a Black History event at Gracie Mansion, he called out the Negroes for calling for his resignation. Let's hear those comments from New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
So this is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God, forgive them. Are you stupid? I'm running my race right now.
You from New York for real.
He's supposed to say, "Oh, you dumb."
Yeah,
That's what you dumb.
Are you
Not
dumb?
stupid.
Yeah, the Remy Ma type
But
joint.
this is what I don't like about the media, though, man. When they don't like somebody, they demonize every word that comes out of their mouth. I saw headlines that said Eric Adams compares himself to Jesus. How many times have we heard people say that? Yeah. That phrase? Like a million times. That's a black phrase. Like, he's not comparing himself to Jesus. People say they even hating on Jesus.
He's just he's just a bad guy right now, and a lot of people hate him, as you can see, definitely the press and the media. So they're gonna attack everything that he says. But I tell everybody, if he didn't do the things that they said he did, and he feels like, look, I didn't do it and you attack me, he gonna talk his ish.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Then he's not your traditional mayor.
No.
He talk ish all the time. So.
And he shouldn't have just called out Negroes, because there's a lot of people that wanted him to step down.
That I think is the problem.
That was the actual issue.
Yeah, is the fact that he said Negroes, and then he had to later he clarified that, he was like, well, there are a lot of people calling for my resignation. So it's like, well, it's not just Negroes.
Yeah, that's what he should. That's the problem. That's the problem.
But I think he said Negroes because he
wanted to say niggas. But even still, he's wrong.
But he's like, at least my Negroes should be rocking with me. My niggas should be rocking with me. Yeah. They're the ones that's going to get more.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what he probably meant by it. Like, he expected from the others.
I think that's definitely what he meant.
But y'all my people, and y'all going against me.
Yeah, well, we'll continue to watch and see what happens with New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Of course, another poll shows that former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is actually gaining favor to be New York's newest mayor. The latest poll from Honan Strategy Group shows that the former governor would dominate the Democratic primary mayoral race. He has a 26-point lead in the latest poll, with a 38% of respondents saying they'd vote for the former governor. So it's happening. It looks like New York City is gearing up for this mayoral race, and I will keep you posted as to what happens in regards to, of course, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and of course the corruption charges that he is facing as well. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank you.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.